Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another rendition of Quincy Beoulve's Let's Play. And today we are doing another Pokemon Ramble. So last time we talked about introductions, who I am, what this game is, but I forgot to introduce another co-star to my channel. At least she wants to be a co-star to my channel. It's Piper. She's a kitty cat. She recently got shaved, so her back and everything except for her tail, her head, and her boots are shaved. So yeah. So Pokemon. So what are we gonna be talking about today? So today, oh yeah, I should probably check what my challenges are. No, don't touch that. So I have two dark challenges that I have to do. Knock out 12 opposing Pokemon with your dark Pokemon, and put 7 dark Pokemon cards, evolution cards, into your play. I'll get 55 tokens if I do that, and a booster pack of some random kind if I do this one. I already completed win 9 trainer challenges, and yeah. So if there's a lot of noise in the background, I don't know if my furnace is still running, and if you can hear that, well, I know that I turned it off, but it still has like that residual psh when it's like powering down. And so, ow. Oh, you don't want me to record, you just want pets. And so, yeah. That might be going on. You might be able to hear that I still have a stuffy nose from yesterday's recording of this game. And so, yeah, good stuff, fun stuff. Actually, not really. But, yeah. So, what are we going to be talking about today? Well, today, we're going to be starting off an arc to the series. What is an arc, you might ask? Good question. So the arc that I want to be starting this series off is with storytelling. There are many types of storytelling and many misconceptions about different types of storytelling. So I want to go over that, like all of that, because it's really interesting to me. So different types of storytelling. You have, or maybe I should say so different types of storytelling. You have like 3 major ones. You have myths, you have legends, and you have folk tales. And the key thing to all 3 of those is that they are some way significant to a specific culture or society. Oh. Okay. I guess giving up on that was okay. Oh, okay. I mean, I want to do. Okay, whatever. So, you have myths, folktales, and legends. They're specific to a society. A rough overview is myths are sacred to a society. Their stories, their traditions, actions. They're just such a cutie. So the major difference between dang, I don't have anything. Myths and other types of storytelling is that myths are specifically sacred. They are usually when people think about myths, they are unchanging, but they can be changing. Example of that is Greek myths, which were sacred stories to the ancient Greeks. There are many versions to specific stories because people went around and was like, oh, here's the story of Hercules. He did these many things. He even went to your town, and he did these many things in your town. Ooh, 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 ooh. And so, yeah. So you just had many stories. That's why you have like at least two etiologies of what's her name? Goddess of sex and love. Aphrodite. That's it. Aphrodite. There's like two origin stories for her because there's two different. Do I want to do this? Yeah, let's do it. Oh, dang it. Well, oh well. So there's two different origin stories, and that is shown by, well, that's just what it is. It's not specifically shown by anything. So, yeah. Boo boo boo. So it's usually thought of as unchanging, but it can be changing. It can change from place to place, like other types of storytelling. But the key importance to myths is that there is like an idea of canon, and that it's sacred to a society in some way or another. Let's go with legends. So legends are, ow, that's not very nice. That's in fact, that's pretty mean of you. Oh, I wish I saved one of those. Well, oh well. Hopefully I'll get more. So what was I saying? Oh, legends. The thing about legends is that they are based off of real events. So sometimes you will hear people go like, that's not a legend, that actually happened. But that's what a legend is supposed to be. It's based off of real events. I mean, so yeah, to say like, oh, that's not a certain so what you will most likely hear with some storytelling type of things, cat hair, is that whatchamacallit, you will hear people be like, oh, that's not that, it's actually that other thing, when that whatever was the thing that was described is the entire point. It's the entire purpose of what that type of storytelling is. By Piper. So yeah, so legends are based off of real events. So for example, a legend I had at my old neighborhood, or my old town, was there was a whatchamacallit, God, I have trouble concentrating sometimes, so trouble just thinking of words. But there was a prom night. An old story prom night in like the 50s or 60s, somewhere around there, where if you drive down the road, if you drive down a specific road, the story was prom night, long time ago. There was a couple that got drunk, they were driving, they hit a bicyclist, and they got into an accident. And for the story, oh, well, I was hoping that it would be the evolution of that guy. And so the guy dumps his girlfriend's body just on the side of the road and just lets her die there because, oh my god, she's injured and we're drunk and we're underage, we can't go to the hospital. So she dies on the side of the road. And that is a legend because it's based off of what may or may not be a true story. But it's what is the important part of the story is that it is based off of what might be a real event. And so that's what makes it a legend. And so I just want another, whatchamacallit, doop-de-boos. So yeah. Legends are based off of possible real events. Or real events. I mean, you can have legends of all kinds. And folktales are stories that are informal, traditional stories that are significant to a society. And that's it. So we have lots of folktales in our everyday societies just because we're people. And that's what we are. That's what we do. We like to tell stories. We like to just share them around. A good example of a story for the digital culture is the Slenderman story, where you have one guy go like, hey, here's a Photoshop of this creepy guy watching a bunch of kids play on a playground, and nobody saw any of those kids ever again. And so the story went to a bunch of people that was spread around and then circulated and then like was built upon with many iterations. And so you just have whatchamacallit. Oh. Ooh, I did not see that. Ooh. And, ooh, that's not good. That's very much not good. I was not paying attention to that, and I probably should have. Oh, dear. So you have many iterations of that. Oh, that's good. And it just becomes a folklore circulating around the digital culture. And so, yeah, that's a folktale. And so, quick rundown, like, recap, because this is not going very good at all. At all. Oh dear goodness. Is so oh dear. Myth are based off of, or myths are sacred to a specific society. No, you are terrible. No, this isn't going my way at all. Myths are based off of, myths are stories that are sacred to a society. Legends are stories that are based off of possible or are based off of real events. And I'll do that now. It's either now or never. Yeah. Based off of possible real events. And folktales are informal traditional stories or cultural things that are significant to a specific culture. So, I mean, folktales could be folktales are kind of like the overarching, like legends count as folktales, myths can count as folktales, depending on if they're sacred or not. Legends, depending on if they're based off of real events that have like a date or specific people in it or not. And you have whatchamacallit. And so you have even more subcategories to that, such as fables, fairy tales, ballads, mumming. You just have all of these different things that are set for a specific society or culture, and that's just how it is. I mean, that's just how it is. And so, yeah, so that's what's all these different storytellings are. So, can a myth be true? Yes, it can. All that a myth is that it's sacred to a specific society. It can be very much true. It could be false. A legend, which is specifically based off of possible real events, can also very much be false. All that matters is whether it's based off of a possible real event or not. And so legends, especially urban legends, are usually cautionary tales. No. I won't get into all that when we get into all the different types of storytelling in future episodes. But I'll be going more in-depth with other forms of storytelling then. And so this episode is just like a rough overview of storytelling, like in general, kinda, I guess. So, yeah. Ooh. So if I sound a little off or a little wheezy or anything like that, I'm also just getting over a cold, and so is my cat. Hey, look, we won! Yay! 2 victories for me in 1 episode. Ooh. So you get a bunch of coins, you get a bunch of tokens from the game. And this is a very generous game with the reward system. And so, yeah. And then you get 10 to 15 energy towards your next goal, and then it just keeps going and going and going. Alright. Well, that is today's episode for Quincy Beoulve's Let's Play and Sean's Rambles. I will see all of you next time. Fly high and dream big.